Okay, recording in progress. All right. Hey, Christina.
Hi,
With
Sharon.
that beautiful smile. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Okay, and welcome to my audience. To thank you so much for tuning in to I Love You Packages, where I share all things to help improve your marriage. And today I have Christina here with me from Organize Your World with the Momathon Divas. And I've been following her for a while. She is such a sweet, friendly and humble person and so wise. And so I just wanted to have her on here today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Christina.
Oh, well, Sharon, thank you so much for having me. Hello, everyone. I'm Christina Garrett. I am very honored to be here today and to serve the world as a productivity coach and professional workshop facilitator. Our community is centered around all things work-life balance.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
to have a family and do the best you can to enjoy the season of life that you're in, how to
Yeah.
rest more, and how to spend more time on the things that really matter. So we focus on family, we focus on serving the Lord at a new and amplified way. And then we help you to
Hmm.
move your schedule around and figure out where are the best places for you to spend your energy.
Yes, and I love it. We share similar backgrounds. I could
Mhm.
have really used you back in the day. I have I've homeschooled my kids. I have four, but
Mhm.
they're adults now. I have only
Yeah.
one left in high school, and she's graduating. She's a half year, so she'll be done in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'll be
That's
done with all of
incredible.
them. They're all
Lord, we
graduated.
will be there one day.
Yeah,
Woo! Me and
you'll
my
get
husband were
there.
just talking about
Yep.
it.
But yeah, so I really love what you're doing, and
Thank you.
the organization helps, and that's why I wanted to have you, and I wanted to start the new year with organization.
Mhm.
Because as women, we're so busy most of the time, and you know, doing things that somebody else could be doing.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so you're the bomb at this. So I wanted to go ahead and get some tips from you on how can we as women organize our time to maintain a healthy marriage, right?
Mhm.
And so
Yes.
that brings me to my first question is, how do we organize our days so that we're not energized, so we are energized for our spouse later on in the day? Like, what does it take? What should our days look like?
Well, I'm going to be totally transparent, right? I'm going to be totally transparent. I think that this is something that we're always going to be working on depending on the season of life we're in. Me and my
Hmm.
husband were joking earlier after this interview and going into the afternoon, we'll probably be homeschooling in the afternoon today.
Hmm.
And I told myself I'm going to grab a cup of coffee. I'm going to be a good mother, you know? I think it's all about slowing down and being more intentional with the things that we do and
Hmm.
less all over the place scatterbrain. So I
Right.
haven't cleaned anything today,
Hmm.
right? I
Yeah.
made sure I got myself going for my run this morning because only
Awesome.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Sat down and talked with my husband about certain things going on in the family. Only he
Hmm.
and I can have those conversations. We're going to do our homeschooling things, but there's some stuff that we do today that's going to need to be done again tomorrow.
Right. I get
you
it.
know,
Yeah.
and we all know what those things are. Depends on your house, but it's the laundry, it's the kitchen and the dishes, it's the vacuuming, it's these little micro tasks that happen around the house that if they go undone, it's a big deal. But I think depending on your season of life, you got to make sure you're doing the things that only you can do. And
Right.
really settling into those places. And I also think that depending on the age of your children, if your kids are beyond age 2
Hmm.
especially, they should be partnering with you to get some of these things done. So,
Right.
my kids alternate who cleans the kitchen, they alternate who's wiping off the dining room table or vacuuming the living
Right.
room or these other things so that I have more space, energy, time, and availability to do other things.
That's awesome. Yeah. And and it's a matter of us just putting our foot down and just seeing through with them helping out. So we can, and I hear a lot of that from you. Um, What, how did you and your husband get on accord, like one accord, like to actually be, um, have unity, I'm just gonna go like this, unity with one another to like homeschool and let you have your business. Like, how did y'all actually get on one accord? And like, what did it look like? Was, the adjustments? Was there fights? Did you not want to do homeschooling? Or
Uh,
was it your idea?
oh my
Because when
gosh.
my husband told me about homeschooling, I never even heard of homeschool. That's how
Uh-huh.
old it was for us. It
And
was
then you
just
went
like
along
coming
with it
out.
anyway. And you went along with it.
I did. Yeah, I did. I was like, what? Okay. Yeah.
Oh wow. So I was homeschooled for a few years when I was in school. And then my husband's mother was one of the OG homeschoolers in Michigan before it was even legal for real.
Wow.
She's had
Wow.
CPS called on her for her kids playing outside during the school day. Like homeschooling a long time
They
ago,
don't
right?
understand. Yeah.
You're right. That's like OG homeschooling right there.
Yeah.
So he and I, we both were familiar with the amazingness of homeschooling. She homeschooled his older sisters, 3 children. They're all like full scholarship doctors, all right. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
they see the value
wow.
in the homeschooling journey. We've seen the results and the fruit of it. And
Mm-hmm.
so it wasn't so much that we disagreed on the homeschooling. We were trying to figure out how do we do have our kids with us all the time, and still, keep us at a good place, and
Right.
keep
Right.
us together as a family. So he was in school full time at the time and working full time. And
Mm-hmm.
so we were trying to figure out how can we spend more family time together.
Right.
In this current season, as my older kids, are becoming teenagers, we're
Yeah.
all like, how can we spend a little less time together? We need some space, as a family. And so even now, I think seasons and transitions are inevitable. So you
Mm-hmm.
got to
Yep,
ask
they really
yourself,
are.
for this season of our life, what's the right answer? You
Right.
know. So, for example, my oldest son, who's 14 in the ninth grade, when numbers and letters started merging together in a math problem,
Mm-hmm.
mommy had to say, "This is not for me."
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Me
So,
too.
yeah. So we
Yeah.
put him in a program that teaches homeschool high schoolers.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so he goes there 2 days a week and takes his algebra class. That is us delegating, a
Mm-hmm.
task where we can just do homework with him. He enjoys going and having someone else teach him that, and we enjoy
Right.
someone else teaching him the math too. So, I think when it comes to marriage, you guys have to make sure that you're tapping into what productivity actually means. And that means the output of an individual or a business or a family
Mhm.
in relation to the identified goals of that family. And if you
Right.
haven't identified the goals of your family and what we actually want out of this and what we want it to feel like and be like on a day-to-day basis, then it's
Right.
hard for us to be on the same plane, if we don't know what we're working towards.
Awesome. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. It sounds like it has to be a conversation between you and your husband to
Yeah.
find out what are your goals for this family? What are our goals for the family?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it may be uncomfortable,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you stick to it because of the goal.
Right. So what kind of mentors do you have in your life, or like what mentors do you suggest for married women, to that they should have in their lives?
Mhm. I think ideally we all hope or wish that our mothers were the people that we could look up to marriage wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we wish that maybe the women in our family or the matriarchs of our family, we wish that our best friends or those who are in a life season ahead of us, we wish
Right.
that we all had those people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful that my mom is one of those people for me, and she taught me I could see her being a good wife. I could
Mm,
see her taking
that
care of
matters.
herself.
Yeah.
I could see her having mom's day out, you
Yeah.
know. I could see her, pressing pause, working on her
Yeah.
business, my dad supporting that. I could see that growing up. And then beyond that, I look for women who, for example, we're homeschoolers, right? I look
Mm-hmm.
for women who are happily married still, and they graduated their kids, and their kids are on full scholarships, you
Yeah.
know, and they still continued in their careers while they did it. Like that for me are women that I look up to and I consider mentors, you know,
Yeah.
those who are still preserving their personal identity while they're loving and nurturing and doing what's best for their family.
Right. And yeah, it sounds like you had some great mentors in your life that you're actually living out now from what you saw. Like
Mm.
your aunt, you speak about, she was an old school homeschooler. Like
Mhm.
you can get so much information from her. That's pretty
Mhm.
awesome.
Yes.
And then seeing your parents and your mom actually taking care of you guys and then having her own business as well. And
Mhm.
you're doing the same thing. That's pretty deep.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I had to, like, it was my mother-in-law, right, who was the OG homeschooler, and
Okay.
she homeschooled differently than we homeschool, right?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
might homeschool in the late afternoons because I'm working in the morning. We might skip a day or two. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, we're more of an unschooling or child-led learning family where
Hmm.
you tell me what you want to know or what you're working towards so we can plug you into things to help you get it, you know?
Right.
And so even with her, like when my husband was homeschooled, you know, they woke up, they put on clothes, right? Like they were going to school at home, but she gave them quality education. I'm not sure I'm so much quality every day. Like we're gonna be in our pajamas, you know, on the couch, on the floor, going for a
Yeah.
walk, you know. So I think there's no wrong way to do it as long as it's in relation to the identified goals that you have, you know, but we're
Right.
helping our families as a whole to move forward.
Wow. So, do you and your husband have anything that you do together? Like I know that you guys have a church, right?
Yes, we
Yeah.
do. Yes,
Do
we
you
do.
so do you guys have anything that you do together throughout the day,
Mhm.
every day to keep your sanity, to keep the family organized, or to keep everything that you guys got going on organized? Is it like a meeting here or a meeting there?
I think we have micro meetings throughout the day. So that
Uh-huh.
might be, especially early, like what's on your plate for today? You know,
Okay.
sometimes we may have assumptions. We all know what assumptions do, right? They make a out of
Oh
you and
yeah,
me.
make a mess.
So I have learned as a wife not to assume that he's free this day. He's learned as a husband, let me not assume my wife don't have nothing to do. And
Right.
so we kind of have like a come to Jesus moment at least once a day to say, okay, what's on your plate for the day? Okay,
Yeah.
bet this is what's on my plate. I'll be free at this time. If you want to
Right.
go to Starbucks and sit for a little while and just plan world takeover and things of that nature. He just left. You saw me turn to him, heading
Hmm.
out for a deacon meeting tonight, you know,
Okay.
all these different things. So a lot of times we have moving pieces. But
Hmm.
what we try to do at the end of every night is sit down together and just breathe.
Oh yeah.
Just breathe together, you
Yeah.
know, lay on the couch, fall asleep, go get in the bed, fall asleep. Like we just try to be grounded together.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really important also, to support what's important to the other person. Okay. So if he
Mm-hmm.
has an interview, you know, he does a lot of fatherhood chats, talks, workshops, leadership development, all this kind of stuff.
Awesome.
If you have a meeting and you have something you need, you know, this space, or I'm going to shut everything down in the house, right? To make sure that he's successful in that way. And then he
Right.
does the same thing for me, you know, especially if it's a big opportunity. He's going to be right here in the house threatening the children's lives to make sure that make sure that everything can go off without a hitch, you know.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, we do the best we can to support each other in that way. You know, you got to go to the gym, go ahead. There's no guilt there for you leaving. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go run. Everyone knows I'm crankier when I don't run. So he wants to make sure that I go,
That
you
is
know. So
true.
we try to find those grounding places and really identify what's most important to that
Yeah.
significant other in that season.
Awesome. That's awesome tip right there. I love that unity and support in one another in a
Mhm.
marriage, because I believe that's what really makes it work. It can't be selfish. It can't just be all about him and not
Mhm.
about her, and
Yeah.
all about her and not about him. So
Mhm.
that's an excellent point there. And you've shared so many great points. And I know I know you have a little bit more. I just wanted, before the recording ends, if you could just share like 3 tips, 2 or 3 tips for us ladies on, just marriage organization tips on how to solely come to our husbands at the end of the day with not empty, we're full of energy, of knowledge, whatever, in our brain to help them. What is that? What does that look like for us?
So one I would definitely say is be okay with learning to delegate. Okay. And learning to delegate means that you are humble enough to say, I only have 24 hours in a day and I cannot spend it and do not want to spend it micromanaging over you people. So we all need to work together,
Right.
I have found a lot of times, especially wives and especially moms, depending on the
Hmm.
season of life you're in, we have a hard time with saying, I need help.
Yeah.
We have a
Yeah.
hard time with that, as if there's something wrong with us if we say, I need your support in this way.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's guilt. I don't know, it's such a heavy
Even
thing.
at this age with
Yeah.
adult children, well, I don't even know what to call them, adult kids.
They adults.
And my husband still gets on me about, why are you doing the dishes? Why are you cleaning up? You got 4 kids, you got 3 girls. Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And I have to constantly, um, stop
Yes.
myself and just stop doing that. And you talked about something, you called it, what are your, not triggers, it was something else. You did a live about it, but I recognize for me that I have to lock my door, my bedroom door.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because if I go in there, whatever I go in there for, to like relax, do whatever I'm trying to do, everybody will start coming in
They
still.
always do. Why do they do
Yeah.
that? Now, here's one of the things I do is, like, if I'm taking a shower, and I think at some point it's like a known thing that kids just walk in the bathroom on you or
Yeah.
something. And I was like, that is like against the law. If you once you
Right.
leave this house, you are not allowed to do that. So why don't we implement this
Exactly.
principle at home?
Right.
Why don't we say, even in this time, in this space, okay, I'm getting dressed. I don't want company right now.
Right.
I don't,
Exactly.
that's his dad and he's, staring. That's one thing. But, I don't want company right now. And to be able to
Right.
own that space. So
Yeah.
I found that delegating a lot of times gives us a lot more time, energy, freedom, because I'm
Hmm.
not micromanaging over everyone else. Now,
Right.
while you delegate, though, you must remember that you have brainwashed your family for the last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, that you'll do it. You'll be the problem
Wow.
solver. You'll fix it. So now you have to bite the bullet and be patient with them as
Yeah.
they unlearn and relearn the new definition of who you are.
Right.
Be okay with that.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I thought mom was going to do it. Mom always does it. Mom's not doing it anymore. Let me show you how to do that. And then giving them
Exactly.
time to learn.
Right.
Another important note about keeping your marriage happy and together is to learn how to be friends and lovers. As Usher and Lil Jon and all of them say, you got to do both. I have
Right.
found that when we are love, we all know how to be a decent wife most of the time, but a
Hmm.
lot of times what a good wife actually is also a friend. And when we have friends, we give them all this grace and all this permission to be human. If
You're
they
right.
say they hate their life, right,
Hmm.
that doesn't mean that they hate everybody. It just means right now I'm in a really challenging situation and I
Yeah.
don't see anything positive about my life right now. If your husband comes to you and says, I'm miserable, I don't like, da da da, it doesn't mean he doesn't like you. It just might
Right.
mean he's in a challenging situation. And what
Exactly.
we do with our friends is we are more forgiving with them, and
Hmm.
we're more able to hold space for them for however it is that they're feeling.
Hmm.
When it comes to our husbands, I'm listening, baby. I won't judge you. And then tomorrow, you're going to be, well, you said you don't even like your life. So, no, I'm not making spaghetti. Stop.
Right.
Let your friend be transparent with you. Let's be his friend. That
Right.
might be uncomfortable for you.
Mm.
It might be
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Let it sit.
Yeah.
Let it simmer. Okay, now you're telling me how to pray for you better. I'll be here to hold space for you. You know,
Mhm.
if you just need to talk about it, get it out your mind. We can map it out on the whiteboard, whatever you need to do. You know,
Right.
we do stuff like that with friends. You
Yeah,
know,
we
when it
do.
comes to our spouse, we don't. We just kind of do
Mm,
a real cut and dry, and we're not able to be friends and really hear that. So I
right.
think those are a couple tips, you know, to help us have a little more energy. And then lastly, I would say, what does your spouse say they care about?
Mm,
What do they say they care about? Because sometimes we're doing all these other things as if our husband cares if the kitchen is sparkling clean. He might like it that way, but if it's between the kitchen being perfect and you guys going to bed together that night and just breathing and relaxing and you still got energy and you're not mad, then he would take the second one, not the first one.
right.
So, you know, can we
Yeah.
delegate so we have more time and energy? And then can we communicate better so that we're more present for the people we care about?
That is awesome. Yeah, I agree with all of them. And especially what does your spouse say that he wants, right?
Mhm.
Because that's what we do with the marriage challenge journals. It's
Mhm,
like it's two journals for his and her. And it's
mhm,
like, what does she want and what does he want? And then
mhm.
we have to form a habit and try to do those things for that spouse, you
I
know?
love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
So, oh, that was so good. I am so thankful for you coming on here today and
Yeah,
sharing
thank
with us
you.
some marital tips and organization. That was so awesome. I know you have a event coming up, like for the
It's a
year.
yes, it's this fall every year. We
Mhm.
have the Mamathon conference for going into year 8.
Oh
So
man,
we're
that is awesome.
excited. So we are would love to have you come and join us.
Yeah,
Or
I
any of the
wanna.
ladies who are watching or listening,
Hmm.
who are busy multitasking women. We have ladies from all different seasons, kids at home, empty nesters, the glamas who want to pull up on us.
Yeah.
So it's all different seasons, but women who have a very multi-layered life. They're working in corporate, they have their own businesses, they're building something amazing, and they're
Hmm.
trying to figure out the best tools and strategies to take care of themselves in all the ways, mentally,
Yeah.
physically, emotionally, and make $1 million at the same time.
Wow. Yeah, that is awesome. I'm sure
Yes.
that we can all benefit from that. Even, me and my old age, that's why I'm in your group.
Not an old age. Stop it. You gotta
Yeah.
quit.
Yeah. So
There
ladies,
are
get
ladies
in
that
her
come that
group.
have a good 30 years on you, and they're like, oh, I came just because my daughter invited me. But
But
you
they loved
know,
it.
I do need to get this book done. I'm like, yeah, like we all have work to do, you know.
Yes, yeah,
And
you're
I
right.
believe, you know, you have a mission that more people need to see. And the question is, how do we do that?
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I love how you talk about the connections too. Like at that
yeah,
event, there'll be so many connections of other
yeah,
women right where you are, and you can hold each other accountable, make
yes,
friends.
yes,
It's hard to
yes.
make friends when you get older too. So yeah,
You
I'm
know,
sure I'll be there.
yeah, good. I'll make sure
Yeah.
I send you information. Would love to have you.
Yeah. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We're gonna end it here, and I wish you all the best. I see you doing great, and I am so proud of you. I was there with you from the beginning, watching you grow, and many blessings to you.
Thank you so much.
And I'll see you in your group.
All right, sounds great. Thank you.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone.
Okay. Hmm.